Will I be able to hear what you guys are playing in the studio?
Yeah, Paul's going to send it over to me. It's a two-person effort, so give us a minute.
Okay.
Jonas.
Are you hearing the radio?
Massive on WCP.
Excellent, we're starting.
Is powered by ComEd. Visit ComEd.com/clean.
Hey folks, it's Richard Chu, also known as Bad, the Black Asian dude. Yes, we're on the family meeting, but right now, you've probably heard about my new show, Choose
All right, 20 seconds, guys.
Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on WCPT. Choose Views is about pragmatic, progressive conversation with a bit of
More like 10 now.
talk. Tune in, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., Monday through Friday on WCPT. Progressive Talk.
Coming to you. Eric, are you playing music? I can't hear it.
Yeah, I am. You can't hear it at all?
No
I
music.
can hear it.
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. You don't hear anything?
I not hear any music.
Can you hear me?
I hear Michelle. I don't hear any of the music.
Wow. We just heard it a minute ago, didn't we? I think it was. We just heard it a minute ago, didn't we?
I didn't hear any music from you guys.
What's wrong?
Can I get my phone?
I'm not sure what to do, man.
You want to just go without the music right now? And
But we can hear
yeah, I didn't hear any music from you guys.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Start the news, Michelle.
I'm Michelle Peltier, and here's what we're following on the family meeting. Is this right, Dave? Second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, raised nearly $1.5 million at a Lawyers for Harris campaign fundraiser at the Chicago Cultural Center Friday, adding to the $361 million the Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris raised in August, more than double the $130 million raised by GOP nominee DT's campaign last month. The member-owned grocery store, Chicago Market, is preparing for construction as it expects to open next year in Uptown's historic Gerber Building, formerly the CTA's Wilson Station. The building has been vacant since 2015. The new store will sell locally and ethnically sourced dairy, produce, meat, dry goods, frozen foods, prepared foods, baked goods, and alcohol. It will also have a juice and coffee bar and host workshops and classes. Chicago Market plans to hire at least 70 people when it opens around September 2025. It could expand its staff up to 160 people over 5 or 6 years. Former Representative Liz Cheney, the Wyoming Republican who has made it a mission to make sure Donald Trump never again is president, endorsed Kamala Harris on Wednesday with specific instructions. Swing state voters who are against Trump but gag at the thought of voting for a Democrat don't have the luxury this time around to merely write in someone else. To block Trump, they have to vote for Harris. She also said, and as a conservative, as someone who believes in and cares about the Constitution, I have thought deeply about this, and because of the danger that Donald Trump poses, not only am I not voting for Donald Trump, but I will be voting for Kamala Harris. Yay! Hey, don't forget to make your reservations to the Family Meeting Radio Show Pizza Party. Join us Saturday, September 28th from 12:30 to 3 at Williams Inn Pizza and Sports Bar, 2210 South Michigan Avenue. You can make reservations on our website, tfmradioshow.com, or on our Facebook page. Seating is limited. Save your seat now. You can visit or subscribe and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, and Spoutable. Also subscribe and follow our YouTube channel to view us live and receive reminders when we are on the air. I am Michelle Peltier. Don't go anywhere.
My name is Audra Wilson, and I'm the president and CEO of the Shriver Center on Poverty Law.
They can hear us, but
You
they
can
can't
visit
see
us at
Is that right?
www.povertylaw.org. Hey, cousins. Now it's time for the family meeting news.
Spot.
Oh, man.
Hey, family meeting.
My bad. Again, we just kind of threw it when it was happening. We'll make it. We'll get it right for next week.
Okay.
And give you a chance to very economically promote your business
All right,
organization
we're coming up in 15 seconds.
per month to get your message out and support the family meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
Hi, I'm Chris Boulware, founder of itsashort.com. I listen to the family meeting.
My name is Ron McCullough. Visit my website at www.advancedarmor.com. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Here we go.
Here, y'all. We're taking a go at it here today. Welcome to the new worldwide headquarters of the family meeting. We're in a new studio today, so it's going to be raggedy as hell today. I'm talking about butt raggedy, man. Butt naked raggedy today. I could have sworn we had this thing fixed, man, this week, man. I could have sworn that. Anyway, grab your phones, find us on social media. Like, subscribe, and follow. All that stuff that Michelle said. Y'all got to don't bang on the table now. Cause
Sorry.
They can hear all that.
Oh, my God.
I know, see? That's Michelle making all that damn noise. Also visit our webpage. That's tfmradioshow.com. You'll find archived broadcasts, a music playlist, and a live video of this broadcast going on right there, right now. That's tfmradioshow.com. Back in the raggedy-ass rust bucket is the former porno star, Bobby Longstroke.
Hello.
That's good for you, right? He likes it. I know he likes it, right? I think Curly Top's around there too.
Yes, hi, Curly Top.
Hey man, for as little as $5 a month, you can become a patron. Visit that webpage, tfmradioshow.com. Click the link for as little as $5 a month. Okay, we're still taking calls today. We're going to take calls in the studio, and we're going to work that out. So the number is 773-763-9278. 773-763-9278. So, welcome y'all. Welcome y'all.
Hello.
Welcome to the new studio.
We're here. We are here.
All discombobulated. You know, I'm a
So-
creature of habit.
I know, we're in the offices of Chicago News Weekly this week, conducting our broadcast. So it's going to sound hollow here for a minute until they're still playing the music over there.
Yourself making noise with the phone.
I know.
With no cameras today? Our chat room wants to know.
Yeah, there's a camera right there.
Well, it's not on.
Oh, I can switch it. How about that?
That's Eric.
It's a user error. That's a user error. There we go.
Take a second.
Okay.
Yeah,
There it comes, right? Sounds like we're in a bathroom, doesn't it?
It sounds like we're in a tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's fantastic, though. I like that.
You do?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. It's not my favorite thing.
I can adjust the sounds. We'll make that work for us.
I love the commentary. We can hear Bobby Longstroke's commentary. But you all sound as just
Oh, there's a picture.
They can see you. They can see
They can see you now, but they can't see us.
They can't see you.
I don't care if they see me or not.
Let's take the band up and work this out.
Who? Who's y'all?
Everybody. Are we little friends on YouTube?
Bring a little snippet.
So that camera, whatever the image is showing.
Whose 3 chairs are those?
Those are the chairs that we're sitting on. So it's like
It's like a still.
It's like a still before we sit down.
How about that, man?
But you're live though.
Actually, it's showing him, but it's not showing him live. I don't think at least. Maybe
Yeah, that's a hat. That's the clothes he has on.
Yeah.
The hat.
Okay, so we're just going to show the logo today.
No,
Y'all can look
I
at
mean,
that.
look at you. They don't need to. It's this camera's not on, right?
The camera's on. It's just, technical stuff.
Okay.
Just technical stuff. Yeah, and it probably sounds bad too. I bet you it sounds bad. It's like echoey and
Yeah, it sounds like we're in a tunnel.
yeah. Well, but you know that's how it goes. You have to man up, okay?
Or woman up.
Yeah.
How about that?
Or person up.
If it's a
Yeah.
woman up, this stuff would have been done before we got here.
Oh, boy. Sounds a little judgy.
Yeah, that sounds like Judgy McJudgerson.
There it is.
I'm not the judgy one. I was just making
What?
an observation. That's all.
With a tinge of sarcasm tied to it.
So check this out, man. As bad as it sounds, think about how the debate's going to sound on Tuesday.
What debate? There's not going to be a debate.
Yeah, but before we say that, I heard some news the other day that you guys can appreciate. So I think it was in Ohio. Someone passed a law saying that they allow boneless wings with bones in them to be called boneless.
They passed a
What?
law?
What?
Yeah, it was an ordinance or a law in Ohio.
Boneless wings are not wings, first of all.
It's chicken pieces.
Okay, but listen to what they said though. They said that boneless wings that are in Ohio that have bones in them can be called boneless.
Well, that
Wait,
doesn't.
that
That's
doesn't make
not
any
true.
sense.
That's a lie. Not that it's a law, but I'm just saying.
I'm just telling you what they're doing in Ohio.
Oh, Lordy. Wow.
Don't they have other things to do?
In Ohio?
Uh-huh.
I imagine so.
I imagine so. too.
Boneless wings that
Who-
have bones in them can be called boneless.
Because
Yeah.
people were shaming people with the whole thing of no bones and the wings.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's bad, isn't it?
That's out there.
But it's kind of indicative of the society we're living in now, isn't it? Up is down, left is right, right is wrong, wrong is right.
Off is on. So
Yeah,
it is.
It's all that stuff, man. It's crazy.
It's the bizarre. I remember back years ago, I can't remember what it was, but there was a phrase that people used that said that we're in the bizarro world. And we are certainly in the bizarro world.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the weird world.
Yeah. So what I've been paying attention to, and it's not the news. The few times I watch the news, though, I'm trying to pay close attention to the pronouns being
Okay.
used. Suburban women.
Uh-huh.
Rural America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when people use those pronouns, they're being racist, aren't they?
Well, they're certainly being biased. And then the question is, which ism are you going to put on it?
I mean, but they're doing everything except avoiding saying white women, black men, and although they will talk about in polls how black men poll.
Mm-hmm.
But then they always talk about we have to appeal to rural America.
Rural America, the suburban voter.
Suburban voter.
Or this is the other one. This is actually probably used more universally. Working class Americans.
Who does that pertain to?
So,
though?
but that's to Eric's point about racism, closeted with some fancy words, saying working class Americans is to indicate in some way that it's white folks, that the only working class Americans are white folks, irrespective of where they live, suburban, rural, or even metropolitan areas. The working class. We have to appeal to the working class. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Those pronouns they kill me. But they rarely say urban America.
And when it's
unless
said,
they're talking about it in a negative sense.
yeah, that's exactly right.
So I'm watching the pronouns closely. Who are you going to serve? I'm watching the right talk about passing tax reform, tax cuts.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do tax cuts, but the pronouns missing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cut taxes for America, but they don't really mean America, do they?
No, not when it's couched in the same, for working. We're gonna cut taxes for working class Americans. What does that mean? Typically, from the right, it means we're gonna cut taxes for the so-called captains of industry and working white Americans. That's what that typically represents. And part of the challenge is, and you guys see this because we've been black all our
Say that
lives.
one more time, Richard.
When you hear we're going to cut, to Eric's point, we hear the folks out there saying we're going to cut taxes for working class Americans. That's referencing working class. That's referencing white folks, the captains of industry, and those that are perceived to be that working perceive that working class folks in America are white folks
Okay.
only.
Okay, yeah.
So when that's said, it's more than tinged with racism. It is racist because, first of all, it's to say that the captains of industry, there's no captains of industry that are of color and of gender. And secondarily, it's saying that the working class Americans are only white folks, irrespective of if they are in a rural area, a suburban area, or a metropolitan area. And so it is clearly, because let's think about this for a second, Eric. How many times have any of us said, why in the hell are they interviewing these folks at this diner, 45 miles away from the city,
Right.
that's the dominant
In
city.
a town where they got 400 people.
Right, and so they're interviewing, and the folks that are sitting at that diner, and I don't care what state it is, it could be California, it could be Pennsylvania, it could be Illinois, it could be Georgia, it doesn't matter, any of our 50 states. Hell, it could be Hawaii. And they interview some folks at a diner, and the people in the diner that they're interviewing are supposedly representative of working class America. But if the camera pans the diner, ain't no brothers and sisters up in there, and
That's
certainly
why I
no
don't-
Hispanic brothers and sisters.
And what is
no-
your working ass doing in a diner in the middle of the afternoon?
Right, if you're working class American representing America, so it's tinged with racism, up
It's
and
not
down.
tinged, to me, it's very obvious.
Yeah, it's not tinged, you're right. It's very blatant.
And they're not doing this on the streets of Chicago or New York downtown, where you've got working people
Right.
walking up and down the street.
Right. They're not rolling up on any community of color, and I'm going to just use that to save the litany of ones that we could identify with, whether it be us or our Latina brothers and sisters, or frankly our LGBT. So you mean to say the folks in the LGBTQ community are not working class Americans? And the list just goes on and on and on. So you don't see the media, and so oftentimes, Eric, that conversation is driven by those in the media. They are, and they're taking their lead from the politicos that are trying to push their agenda. So then, what happens is, they're not rolling up on folks in Hyde Park. They're not rolling up on folks on the near west side or the near south side of Chicago or any other community, any area in the country. They're not rolling up on folks on a reservation saying, hey, let's talk to you about you as working class folks.
Right, they're not at all. So when they use these pronouns, who are they really talking about at the end of the day? I'm concerned, well, let me say this first. A lot of times the utilization of pronouns is meant to incite emotions, right? Suburban women, you know what immediately pops in your mind.
Yep.
It's a white woman with a stroller probably heading to the grocery store or whatever the case may be.
With the kids from soccer practice.
Right, or urban youth. Urban youth is another one, right? You know what you see when you say that.
Yep.
Real Americans, that's another one that they use.
Yeah.
Real Americans. I'm keyed in on the pronouns. I want to know who's going to ask them, who exactly are you talking about?
Nobody seems to have the I won't even say the guts, but because to me it doesn't take guts to ask that question. So when you say the rule, when you talk about working class
Where you
Americans,
going?
Gotta go get Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
when you talk about working class Americans, who are you talking about? Who does that represent? What does that look like? That conversation, no one's asking that question that should be asking that question if they really care about the storyline. They don't care about the storyline. They care about driving the emotion, like you said a few moments ago.
No, that's what they're doing here. So those kind of games trick me. And I listened to this guy running for senator
What state?
in Pennsylvania. He's running for re-election. Anyway,
Not better.
they were questioning. No, it was the other guy. The question they were asking him was about what he believes.
Mm-hmm.
And what struck me was they were asking him what he believes, and not what his constituency believes. I think that we've gotten ourselves turned around in this world, so that we're trying to elect somebody that we hope thinks like us, versus electing somebody who's going to ask us
Right.
what we think.
What we think.
Yeah.
And being that.
Right, because you could be against abortion all you want, but if your constituency's not, You have to represent them.
Right, you don't take it to them and say, this is what you guys should believe in.
Yeah.
This is, you're electing me, I'm being elected as a representative of what's important to you.
That's right. So I think that they're selecting us more than we're selecting them. And that's another piece that I'm concerned about.
Bob Casey.
Bob Casey, that dude, yeah. He's going to lose because he's an imbecile. He's going back and forth on abortion now. And you got him on. He's going to lose that race, man. All right, so despite the fact that we're raggedy today, we're going to keep working on it, so I hope y'all stick with us. The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
The Law Office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you. Whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck, you better call Darnell. Had a few drinks too many? A cop hits you with a DUI or OWI? I think you better call Darnell. Arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony? I think you better call Darnell. Purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm? I think you better call Darnell. When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home? I think you better call Darnell. That's right, you better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now. 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles.
Calling all valued members of the American Veterinary Medical Association, or AVMA. Your future retirement goals can be achieved. Introducing the AVMA Retirement Plan.
Bit of a delay.
To meet the distinct needs of veterinarians with streamlined administration and reduced burdens.
I can hear you guys. I'm putting callers' names into the spreadsheet right now, Eric. Just let me know when you see them.
Delegated fiduciary services. Veterinarians who use this plan can say goodbye to annual retirement plan audits and annual retirement plan tax reporting. Veterinarians, you can enjoy retirement your way with customizable plans to suit your practice's unique structure. From eligibility,
what's up,
vesting schedules, and more, elevate your retirement journey.
They can?
AVMA's specialized plan.
Uh-oh.
By sending an email to polaris@polarisadvice.com. Secure your veterinary legacy starting today. Email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through LineStreet Financial, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management, LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and LineStreet are not affiliated.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311.
10 seconds.
Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
Come back. If you're playing music, it's very quiet.
Okay, it's coming.
We're back.
So, Eric.
We're back, Eric, if you can hear me.
Yeah.
We're back from commercials. You guys can talk.
You gonna play the end spot?
Oh, my bad.
Hi, this is Wendy Calvert at wcalvertlaw.com. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Okay, 773-763-9278, 773-763-9278. We're in our new studios today, working out bugs at the expense of your ears today.
Bless your hearts.
Yeah, bless your hearts, right? bless your little hearts. So I think that we're being chosen by our politicians these days. I think that they are. There's too many times I watch the press ask politicians, "What's your position?" Mm-hmm. Right, and that's become kind of commonplace for them to ask, "What's your position?" We don't really care about their position, do we? I mean, except to the extent we've elected you because we think you possess the same position I do.
Their position is supposed to reflect what their constituents' needs are. They're not supposed to ask them what their position is. They're supposed to ask you, what do your people, how do they want you to?
See how it's changed? It's not even that anymore. So you've got politicians who we've elected, and the press and the media is more concerned about what their position is. And even if it was their position and it came from their constituents, their language seems to indicate that's their position and damn their constituents. It's what they think.
It's what, exactly. We've been saying versions of this for a long time, certainly here on the family meeting, and we've been saying it in other venues. The media has become virtually useless, and I'll just cite something that was clearly evident, and while I was at the DNC week before last, and that was the number of people, Eric and Michelle, that were, for lack of better words, the non-traditional media that were there. Were the people who were once with a media outlet, the mainstream, and they're now doing something on their own, or they've created something on their own. And the list is endless. I mean, you could start with Don Lemon, you could float over to Roland Martin, you go to any of the podcast people, and I think largely because what they represent now, and the number, and I was shocked at the number, shocked is not the right word, but I was really amazed the number of people who were in, for lack of better words, alternative or additional or supplemental media that were as sought after to talk with as the quote mainstream media was. And largely because, if nothing else, it was a conversation back and forth rather than the mainstream media face on the screen dictating what was being talked about.
Right.
And so I stood back and really watched that and tried to draw some conclusions from it, to come back to your point that the mainstream media has sort of lost itself in thinking that they're still uber relevant, and they're not, and for no other reason because of how they handle questions and how they position the dialogue.
The news has become the news.
Yeah, the conversation about the news is more important than the actual information that we need to see and hear and discuss.
Right.
And as a result, I think a lot of consumers, viewers, listeners, readers are turned off by that, and they don't really. I mean, look at since the debate, the infamous debate. How many people on social media have said, "I'm done with," and just laundry listed mainstream media, versus I'm turning to this, I'm turning to that.
Right.
And I think that's largely because of what you said, Eric, is that when the question's out there as to who they're interviewing and why, it seems to come back to, it's more about them as a personality, media personality,
right,
or the politician, than it is about the constituents or the viewers.
In a perfect world, the politicians, when faced with a vote, would then poll their constituency, right, and then vote according to what their constituency desires. Now, I understand that that's probably not practical in all instances.
Why isn't it?
When you say separate, what do you mean?
I mean, every single vote, I don't know that it'd be practical to poll your constituency on every single vote. For the pivotal votes, or the ones that you think may be controversial, or that you're unsure about, maybe. Probably, I would say.
I disagree. I think that you have a pulse on your constituencies. I think that you kind of know which way they want you to go because you're like-minded.
How do they know that?
Because you're like-minded. It's not like it is now. It's you knew what your constituents wanted because your constituents put you there. Now they're not speaking for their people. Might I add something else about the media? I think that part of this problem that we're having is media is now for profit. It never used to be that way.
It always was for profit.
No, it was not. They put it in entertainment, and so now it has to make money, right? Your ratings and everything matter.
Well, consolidation caused that. The communication bill made that happen.
In entertainment, and before then, it wasn't. It was strictly news. But then people got angry because they said it was too left-leaning, when that may have been true, but that was just where the facts landed.
That's where the facts landed. Yeah, and the problem is that the right felt like they were not able to get their message out.
Right.
So there we go. But Eric, come back to this for a second. You said that the elected official should, in a perfect world, have a pulse of where their people are, and that they may not, because it's not a perfect world. But try this on. Isn't it realistic to think that now the politician is not really voting? Okay, remember when the conversation was like, so and so's elected, Eric Grant's elected to House or Senate or whatever. He's gonna bring home the quote unquote bacon of politicking, because he's gonna bring back stuff to his community.
The pork.
Remember that? Remember that was a big part of
Right.
Okay, we're gonna elect Eric Grant to whatever it is, and he's gonna go get stuff for us to make our community better.
Right.
That's not the top of the list of conversation anymore. It's like, how is Eric voting versus what is Eric bringing back to his community that elected him? And that's missing right now across the board, on the left and on the right, frankly. They're all measuring, they're waiting to see what the measurement is of polls, and then letting the polls sway the direction that they should go.
And the key is that they're not paying attention to polls from their constituency.
Right. They're looking at a larger matrix or metrics, and then saying, I probably need to vote in this direction because that's the way that the wind is blowing right now. Versus
and all this back and forth about the American people, and this is what the American people think. But you're not representing the American people. You're representing those 400-some people in your community.
Right.
That's it.
And
but the aggregate of all of the politicians voting is the will of the American people, if they're voting based on their constituency.
And so,
but politicians don't typically spend a lot of time in their districts
anymore
until election time.
Anymore.
So how in the hell would they know?
But they used to. That's what I'm saying.
How old are you? I mean, man, how long ago was that? You see Michelle in a black and white video.
Shut up.
With the scene, the background, just like Flintstones.
Yeah.
Look, I've been involved in
Model
politics
T
since.
driving around behind.
Right. I feel judgment.
When did they do that?
Okay, so I started working in elections when I was 18. That's when they were doing it. So
that long ago.
That long ago.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I can tell you we could probably find a seminal moment of when it started to change, and it does tie in, ironically, with communications and the merging of communication outlets. That when that became what it is now, or the seeding of that happened, the reason for going to Washington, and Eric has said this so many times over the years, it used to be less dirty and grimy, and the people who were the good folks that were going to go in there and get something done, and even on a state level, that started to change when it became became more about the popularity contest.
The money.
And the money. Well, certainly the money, and that's linked to the popularity contest.
You see, I don't think that popularity is their goal.
It's money.
I mean, I'm sorry, I take that back. I think it's second to the money.
Yeah.
I mean, being popular, that's fun. It strokes your ego.
Well, it's seductive,
well,
right?
Because
it is.
Look,
having power too is.
Give an example why they all sort of the second three-legged stool. Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't care about the money because she got a bunch of money. She had a bunch of money willed to her from her family. No. But she's concerned. She's more concerned with the popularity contest, and what is she taking back to her district?
Nothing.
By comparison.
Yeah, but she's one of the leading fundraisers though in their caucus.
But that money doesn't. She doesn't need the money to be there. She gets the money because she is about driving the wedge and the popularity and all that, the attention. She's not getting anything done legislatively.
Listen, I'm pretty certain that woman can read, and she can see what's in front of her face, and for her to say the complete opposite of what she sees, it leads me to believe that she's drunk with the fundraising ability. She wants to keep her money. She'll say what she has to say to keep her money. I think a lot of these people can read. They can see what's going on.
They all are doing it. They're all lying to us and to themselves and to each other.
For the sake of money.
Money, absolutely.
Right.
And the popularity.
Okay.
Primarily the money.
So it's a four-legged stool. Money, popularity,
power.
Thank you, and then
make something up.
No, we just said it. Money,
Because you get tickled when you go to work every day.
money, popularity,
And tickles.
power, and tickles.
Tickles, man.
But yeah, so yes, that would be it. Because and they all want you take one away, and that person's ability to be there crashes.
Yeah, how can you look at what happened on January 6th and fix your mouth to say other than what actually happened, unless it means it's going to cost you money?
Yeah, without a doubt. Because legislation,
They saw what happened. They know exactly what happened. It ain't good for their money to admit it.
And that's when people ask the question like, so why is this race close and blah blah blah.
It's not.
It's actually not close. It's being propped up to be close or to give the appearance of. But at the end of the day, it goes back to
Wait. Hold on a second. What do you mean not close? You mean not in the popular vote or the electoral college vote?
Well, the popular vote is not close. The electoral
Okay,
college
that don't count.
I know the electoral college vote
That's close.
is close.
Right. So
But why is it close?
because this country they love the slave era.
They do. It's all
Right.
it's all based on racism and sexism and money.
Yeah.
It's that. It's
Yeah.
nothing else. Well, I see people getting twisted up like, I can't believe it's so close, and how could these people be? Because we're still living in that what's the woman Rwanda, what's her name? Help me out. Nikki Haley wants to deny.
Look at that man.
Right.
Look at his running mate, J.D. Vance, who said so many things about him being he called him Hitler at some
American
point.
Hitler. He
Yeah.
called him American Hitler.
Now he's his running mate.
Yeah.
Okay, so why would you think that for 1 minute, and then you're his running mate the next second?
Because Peter Thiel is his money man.
The money.
It's his money man, and so this is a good one. So just recently, Nate Silver put out a poll or a result.
Oh, can I say nerd?
Nerd City.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
nerd.
he's the nerdy.
You know this guy?
Nate, yeah.
Nate.
You remember back in the day when he used to have his glasses on? I thought he was on the spectrum.
Yeah, Nerd Silver said that. He basically said Democrats watch out because you're going to probably lose this race because of the fact that Kamala Harris is in the swing states. And so, the background states. So, I started looking at it and people in the party looking at what he created.
It's back to we can't understand you guys.
So, I posted this saying, well, first let's talk about the money. Why is it so? First of all, is methodology is compromised. Yeah. And look who's backing, going back to the money. Nate Silver's methodologies are compromised by objective, third-party polling groups that said it's compromised. So then you have to ask why it's compromised. Then you ask the question, well, who is funding him? Peter Thiel is funding him. The same dude. Getting contacts, you know, with crazy right? The same dude but he's also funded J.D. Vance, and he's trying to fund the economic farming. So when you look at that, to Aaron's point about through the lens of the money, Nate Silver has no desire to be unbiased in his polling methodology, because a dude that's got his pockets filled wants to make sure that the race is close, and that he's going to put out information polling-wise that deflects any successes that Vice President Harris is having.
So it's still money.
It's still money.
I think it's so interesting how people can be, because Nate was okay in the beginning, right? And then
he was okay 3 elections ago.
3 elections. That's what I mean in the beginning.
You don't mean okay. You mean fair.
He was fair.
Right.
And it's amazing what money does to people. It makes you give up your soul and everything. I mean, you know, he was a pretty honorable kind of guy. Now you can't trust anything he says.
No, not at all.
So for the sake of money, he's given up his reputation, everything.
But he had a lot of white women now, and he's get to hang out a lot. I bet you that.
Okay.
Because he got money. Anybody check his car recently?
No.
Yeah. He's driving a nice ride now. He's whipping unimproved.
He went from a studio apartment that he was renting that now he owns a townhome.
Right.
I mean, so that speaks to what Eric introduces the question is.
It's the money.
What isms are guiding the questions from the media and guiding the voting from the elected officials? And it's racism, sexism, and moneyism.
It's the money. It is the money for sure. Yeah. So apparently Devin's sending me messages. We keep going in and out of being clear. We're just gonna keep working at it, y'all. That's what's gonna happen today. And the important thing is, we can hear each other.
That's
Loud
true.
and clear.
Y'all can't hear
With
us.
or without the headphones.
We can hear each other.
Yeah.
That's right.
We gotta put some more soundproofing up here or something.
That's gonna be easy.
We gotta drop the ceiling probably.
Well, we gotta make sure the people can hear us.
They'd be all right.
Our chat room.
They need to
people are
bring
very
their ass to the pizza party. They can hear us there.
In a few weeks, y'all will be like, damn, that's so sweet. The new studios, now they're doing it.
Yeah, man. The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
This is Karen Fleshman, founder of Racy Conversations, www.racyconversations.com. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up, this is crucial information you don't want to miss. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris Wealth Management can be your professional partner in navigating this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information or shoot us an email at polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today, and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn... Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, and Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITSASHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com.
Come back in 10.
Here at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
This is Kamal Murray. Check us out at www.excesstennis.org. Welcome back to the family meeting.
What is that?
We're back. Can you guys hear me still?
You're still going out for your show. You're still going to go out for your show.
773-763-9278. 773-763-9278. We're in the new studios for the family meeting here with Raggedy Engineering. All local. Nothing happened in that station, so the rust bucket is not at fault here, y'all. They still a rust bucket though, but
that reminds me of years ago somebody was talking to Tiger Woods about, Tiger, so really it was a bad day at golf today, and he just changed golf clubs. They were like, was it the golf clubs? The golf clubs are having a tough time getting used to them. He said, no, it's a dude swinging the club. So.
user error.
User error.
Yeah, definitely user error.
right.
773-763-9278 is the number. So, yeah, this is definitely the silly season. And the conversations that go on now, when I decide to listen, I try to listen carefully. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing. But when you say when I decide to listen.
Yeah, well, decide to listen every once in a while. But there's really nothing, I mean, there's no news that they're reporting. You gotta read newspapers and what are y'all doing over here? What are y'all doing?
They're having fun, man.
My flashlight's on my phone and I can't turn it off. It's I feel judgment all day.
Every
from the
time
moment
I'm
I got
around
here.
Michelle, my kidney bones starts to hurt.
Eric, okay, so we have
No!
we have some fun with Michelle for a moment. So we were coming in the building, and then we finally got in, about to go in the elevator. She wasn't going to get on the elevator because she thought, ooh, it's creaky and it might be a bad thing, and I'm not going to subject myself to a bad elevator. And she had that look like, ooh, I don't want to go around there.
Okay, when I came here the first time, I took the stairs because I didn't know where the elevator was at. Then when I left, I tried to get on that first elevator that I saw, and it was that weird one that, you pull the door shut and that kind of thing. And those elevators scare me, and I don't want to ride them. I didn't know that there was a different elevator. You know what? Whatever.
So I had to grab her by the hand and say, it's going to be okay.
So y'all got on the elevator at the end of the hall here.
No, I didn't. We got on the other
We got on the right one.
The real one.
Because I didn't know that was there. Because I wasn't going to take, actually told him I'm going to take the stairs.
Through the roof?
She parachuted in.
I came through the regular, there's no signage to tell you go this way to take the elevator. So I didn't see an elevator. So the first time I was here, I took the stairs. Then when I left, there was that crazy elevator with the crazy door. And I don't ride in those. They scare me.
I'm going to have to talk to the pharmacist about
Adjusting the medication doses.
For my kidney bones, man.
For his kidney bones.
Gotta adjust the
Good
medication.
judgment. I just, whatever. Luckily we're grainy and nobody can hear you.
They can hear us, but some people are frustrated that they can't see us.
Yeah, Devin said they can hear us now.
Okay, that's good.
It goes in and out, I guess. I don't know.
Well, we're getting there, folks.
So one of the things we talked about last week or a couple of weeks ago was that the next president will be the first president in however many decades, however many presidencies, that won't have a big emergency to solve.
When they walk in office, you mean?
As soon as they walk in office, there's no critical economic crash. The market hasn't crashed.
There's not a war to have to navigate through.
There's always a war. It's an empire, but yeah.
There's not a, we have sent troops into.
Yeah, hot war.
Hot war, thank
you. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's true.
So, and we were trying to remember, since the last time that happened, it may have been Carter.
It was. Well, but, okay. Yeah, because Ford had been in office for a couple of years to kind of bank down Nixon's shenanigans. So he didn't have to navigate the popularity and the viewing of the presidency as his thing.
Right. Or the ability to navigate the problem that has presented itself.
Right.
Right. You know, so Reagan inherited the crisis that Carter had.
Right.
And Reagan started off.
The hostages.
You mean the hostages?
The hostages and the high gas prices.
Yeah. But here, okay, you're not qualifying me. High gas prices were artificial. That was
okay. Yeah.
But
however it came about.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. There's various ways it comes about. And then Bush came along after Reagan and had to navigate the fact that Reagan was working on crashing the economy.
Yeah.
He tried to so Reagan cut taxes and then raised taxes, and then Bush tried to cut taxes again, and then he had problems as a one-term president. And then Clinton had to come in and fix his mess.
Right. Yeah, he did.
And then Bush Jr. inherited a great economy from Clinton.
He didn't come into it with issues. Bush too came in with a clear path to do nothing but good.
And he ran it into the ditch.
Then he ran into the ditch three times. Three times.
So Obama had to come in and fix his mess.
Yeah.
And then your boy, the orange lunkhead, inherited the great economy that Obama left him,
Yep.
and ran it into the ditch and killed 1 million people along the way. How about that?
Yep.
Yep.
Did I say he killed 1 million people?
Yeah.
He killed 1 million
I
people.
think you should say it one more time.
He killed 1 million people.
With all the yours up in the cheap seats, he killed 1 million people.
Yes, he did. Not funny either.
A bunch of his people, by the way, too.
True.
Well, he didn't care. He has no people.
That's a great point though. He bunch of his people, but he didn't care.
He doesn't consider them his people, though.
Yeah, because he's the one that says about education. I like the what is
Poorly
it?
uneducated.
Yeah. So they were disposable, and then that I know Eric's on a point about the next president coming in and having a major issue to deal with. But would you say that there is one for whoever's the next president, and that's an issue of American unity? And it's not perceived sometimes as an issue, a big thing to fix. But
No.
that's really where we are right now. We have a huge amount of disunity and not bipolar, sorry about that, but polarization in the country, more than we have in our lifetime. I mean, Eric, seriously, I'm 62 years old, and I can't remember desiring that whatever it's going to look like, that we came the hell together. And
See, but I don't like the notion that this is a crisis of unity. I think this is not a crisis. This is consequences. And this country, for cycles and cycles, refuses.
keeps repeating the same.
So you're talking about consequences from
From all the things you did to this point. The only way that Orange Menace can get elected is because of all of the lies and all of the perceptions you had of people.
Yeah.
And so now you're suffering the consequences. Right? So
You said it the other day, and something that one of the two of you posted about.
I did.
Chickens coming home to roost in a
Yeah.
massive way right now.
But I think, though, if you view it as consequences, your response is different.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
Right? It versus a crisis, and we need to come together and all
Because
that
then
stuff.
that places some responsibility at somebody's doorstep. Because
Mhm.
you had either direct or indirect, to go back to Dr. King's cause for the consequence, the problems that we had. Because you did something or you didn't do something when you could have.
right, but who suffers from those consequences, though?
I'm of the mindset that everybody does.
Right.
But people don't see it. Because listen, we go back to the whole conversation around a rising tide lifts all ships. The super wealthy would be wealthier. If you go to Bill Gates' comment the other day about taxes, he said in a progressive tax system, I would be paying billions in taxes, and it would be good for the country if more people did that. So the reality is all of us suffer, even those that are uber wealthy, because they have even more if they got the hell out of the way on some of the things that would make sense for their bottom line.
But I think to begin solving problems, you have to understand that these are consequences. What they characterize as the crisis at the border, that's consequences.
Right.
From all those elections that you meddled with in South America, and all the killing and the destabilization that you involved yourself in.
And taking sides with people who were they were good in the moment, but in terms of long-range planning.
Right, so the consequences are people are fleeing what you created, and they're here. Those are consequences, right? So now you have to own that and deal with the fact that you did something to cause this.
And
So we're all suffering the sins of our fathers, as they say.
She's so philosophical today.
No, Michelle, no.
That's what you're saying, though.
No. Our mamas and daddies didn't do a damn thing
I'm
wrong.
not talking about the RR here,
I
we
know,
here.
I know.
But that's what I'm hearing. I could be wrong.
Well,
You're not wrong.
so that
Snapped at
Eric, if there isn't a thing to fix for this next president, what do you think that their biggest task then should be?
I think that the next leader should understand that these are consequences and craft their movement around dealing with the fact that this country did something and the consequences are here and we need to make amends of all
That
those
is
things.
not going to happen.
Well, I didn't talk about if it's going to happen. I'm talking about what I think they should do.
Well, they should certainly put that on the table of conversation, because let's just go to the southern border as a conversation for a moment. People on the right want to, from a political standpoint and a trash talking standpoint, say that Vice President Harris was a border czar, when in fact that's not even accurate. She was tasked with something else, which is to your point, how did we get here? And what do we do? What are our contributions to the things that are now.
But don't jump over the fact that you did something.
Correct.
To cause this.
And so that's what her task is.
Right. So when she talks about the southern border, as it were, she needs to say this is a consequence of,
right,
and explain the history of why this is happening. And now this is what I intend to do,
Bingo.
which is inclusive of dealing with what we did to cause this.
Yep. And with meaningful resources to affect change. Meaningful
Right.
resources, as you would say, to affect change.
Right. Exactly. We're having a great conversation. I don't know if y'all can hear it.
How
It don't make no difference when y'all could hear it.
And we can't record it either.
What's recorded?
No, it's recording what they hear, which means we can't hear it when we play it back.
No, I got a recorder on here. I can record it.
I see.
Well, there are people who are all over whatever YouTube saying what they can't hear. So
Whatever. Y'all have to live through this, man. You just got to live through it like we are.
Well, they can't
They're
hear us
spoiled.
to do that.
What? They got to live through that.
they were spoiled.
Take it like a man.
Or a woman.
That too. 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more family.
Polaris is introducing a wait.
Can you hear any of the commercials, Eric?
Save and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know
Eric
have enough to invest. Save and plan will allow
Can any of you hear me right now?
professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and plan is simple.
Okay, Eric, you're sounding really bad again.
Directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning service.
Like, I can't understand you guys, that really high, muffled, gargly noise again.
No person to speak with and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA. SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive on WCPT Willow Springs, is powered by ComEd. Visit ComEd.com/clean.
Hey, family meeting cousins.
I can't even make out what anyone's saying. It's just noise.
Subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the family meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
Polaris is introducing a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis, directly from your account, and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA. SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app.
Still can't understand you guys.
Shy 311 on the App Store.
I cannot understand. I hear you. I can't understand you still. It's really bad.
.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
No, I just lost you all together. Much better, much better. Michelle, can you try talking?
You want me to do the news now?
Yep, I'm gonna give you your little bump, and we will do news.
Okay.
This is Miss Lady B, La Boricua. Now it's time for the family meeting news.
This is Michelle Peltier, and here's more of what we are following on the family meeting. Students across the Carolinas are being warned about a serial foot grabber targeting the toes of female students on several college campuses in the area. Christopher Jermaine Dees was arrested the evening of September 1st after he was accused of reaching under a table and grabbing the foot of a student while she was studying in a library on the campus of Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Dees is not affiliated with the school in any way, was taken to Forsyth County Detention Center. His creepy crimes date back over 20 years and include assaults on college students on at least 6 different campuses across North and South Carolina. I told that story for a reason.
Why is that?
He happens to be a black guy.
Oh, wow, that's kind of weird.
Right? That's what I know.
Maybe he eats boneless wings with bones in them.
We don't normally do weird.
Weird burgers, man.
A federal judge in Rockford, Illinois has just declared a state law banning concealed firearms on public transit systems unconstitutional, at least as it applies to 4 individuals who challenged it in court. But the law remains in effect for everyone else. In a decision released Friday, Judge Ian D. Johnston said under current U.S. Supreme Court standards, the law violates the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Asked about the decision at an unrelated event Tuesday, Governor J.B. Pritzker said he disagreed with Johnston's opinion. He said the rights protected under the Second Amendment are not absolute, and that there should be limits on the kinds of weapons people are allowed to carry and where those weapons should be permitted. The ruling came just before 4 sleeping passengers were shot to death on a CTA Blue Line train early on Monday. The rollout of updated COVID-19 vaccines has begun in the United States, but for the first time, the shots will no longer be free of charge for people without insurance at their local pharmacy. Earlier in the pandemic, vaccines were purchased by federal government and free for everyone. Last year, as the shots transitioned to the commercial market, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Bridge Access Program provided free COVID-19 vaccines to adults without insurance and those whose insurance didn't cover all vaccine costs. The program ended last month due to lack of federal funding. Most people with private insurance, Medicare or Medicaid, will still be able to get vaccinated at no out-of-pocket cost. But for adults without insurance or those whose insurance does not cover the vaccine, getting the updated shot at a pharmacy could cost $201.99.
How much?
$201.99.
Per?
Per. Yep. It is, isn't it? Okay, everybody, if you can hear me, make your reservations for the pizza party Saturday, September 28th from 12:30 to 3 at Williams and Pizza, 2210 South Michigan. Go to our website or Facebook page so that you can make your reservation. And please visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. You can subscribe and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, and Spoutable. Also subscribe and follow our YouTube channel to view us live, hopefully, and receive reminders, hopefully, when we are in the air. I am Michelle Peltier. We'll be right back.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITSASHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com, customer care at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
All right, come back.
Have you heard? Affordable healthcare is better than ever. And
This is Steve Casey, the MacArthur Foundation. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Rhythm a little bit off for us today, but we're in here, man. How do I hear music now?
I'm playing your Big Daddy. You want me to just drop it?
Oh, yeah, don't play that. Don't play that. He's throwing music in there.
Called Big Daddy.
We're going to get on the same page, y'all. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. 773-763, 9278-773. 763-9278. Okay, just in case you're wondering if you just tuned in here. Yeah, it's raggedy as hell. Yeah. Now I can hear you, I know. Hey, you can't hear you? It's muffled. I know.
You don't think we know that? We're here.
You know, we're trying to work it out, man. You just gotta play along with us, man. Work it out, man. Send me a text message or something. Adjust my microphone real loudly for you.
I don't think that's it.
You don't think that's it?
No.
What do you think is it?
I don't know what it is. I shouldn't have said anything.
What are you talking about?
The sound, is that what you're talking about? I'm sorry, I was chatting.
I'm just riding along. Can you guys hear me?
I can't hear anything anymore in my ears.
Can you hear me now?
Nope. Uh-oh, I know what to do. There we go.
Wow, look at you.
What was that?
Push the button.
Did you unpush it before?
Yeah, I did that, yeah.
Push
the buttons, man.
Unpushing a
we
button.
could hear it before.
So Michelle, unpushing a button means you have your finger on it and you let it off.
Yeah.
Shut up! He turned it off because we could hear before. He's over there playing with all those buttons.
I am, yeah.
Because he's trying to figure something out.
Well, I'll be damned if we had this thing figured out on Tuesday. We had it figured out.
I believe you.
And today,
were you guys in the same space, or Devin was there and you were here, and so Devin didn't come here?
This was Matt. I was on with Matt.
They did a test drive.
Yeah.
So you did something. You did something.
I didn't. I left this thing on. Nobody touched it when I was here last time.
That you know.
I know they didn't touch it because I told them don't touch it. Nobody touched it. When I came back in, it was exactly like I left it. I took a picture of it.
Well, I gotta give
Do
it
you
a props
turn it
on that,
off?
'cause that's what I would do.
No, I didn't turn it off. I left the computer on.
Maybe that's the problem. You should turn it off.
No, I had it set up the right way. I was going to leave it on.
But if you turn it off, won't it come back on exactly where you had it, as
You
opposed
probably
to?
should just stay out of this. What it is, grown folk business?
That's a reboot that could lead to disaster.
This grown folk business.
Maybe not.
We'd be calling it from our phone.
It should come on right where it was.
Turn it off. She talking about that old ragged ass car she had. Turn it off first. Turn it off.
Well, let's still
pump the gas.
Well, let's still run it down the
You
road.
gotta pump the gas.
How did you know I had a car like that?
Shut it off. Just keep rolling down the road. Then start it back up
Okay,
again.
you guys need to stop judging me
Wait.
today.
And she probably had a clutch. She could be going downhill and then pop the clutch and
Look, that's not driving if you're not driving at 5-speed. Do they even make those anymore?
Yeah, they do.
Again, how old are you again?
Sure they make it.
She's going back to the old days. Couple different times today. And then she get mad and we say, how old are you?
Right, so we ask her the
Back in the old days. You know what happened.
Yeah, and I get in trouble for even bringing up her age, and I'm older than she is. So I should at least have a little bit of a landing space there. We trying, y'all. For those of you who are out there who are impatient with this, that's because y'all was spoiled. It was so good and easy. You just roll out of bed at 3:59 in the afternoon.
Okay, so this ought to be fun. Let's see if the phones work, shan't we?
Oh my God, the phones are in here?
Oh, Devin, let's see if we can get David from Sacramento on today.
What are you looking at?
My computer. I'm looking at everything. Everything.
Multitasking.
Yeah. Hey, Devin, you got
Sure. San Francisco.
San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, do I remember right that you work in insurance?
Yes, I do.
Or yeah, I thought so. Yeah. So as you were talking about the political strife between Democrats and Republicans, and are the Republicans sane? I would put it in, involving the insurance field, because the climate change, for example, the big supporters of Trump can't admit that climate change is real because they're the polluters and they're going to have to give up some dough to pay for damages. They can't admit 1%. As soon as they admit any percentage of responsibility, that goes into a deep, deep well. And so the entire economic policy of the Republican Party is based upon their sticking to their lie that climate change is not real. And they would poison themselves rather than pay a penny to saving, to cleaning up the ozone layer, to cleaning up the rivers, to cleaning up, to losing topsoil in America. They don't want to pay for any of it. And so I would just lay it out that way.
So it's just a simple case of hoarding. They got their resources and they want to hoard them so nobody else can get them, right?
That'd be a part of it. And they believe that those numbers are more, it's like filling their pockets with gold on a sinking ship. They think that their numbers are going to save them, but it's just going to weigh them down. And, we, in structural terms, well, in other words, on the Titanic, on famous ships, these fools would stick gold in their pocket and try to swim to the boat, and they wouldn't get 5 feet. So, the idea of people who are dumb enough to think that money is more important than their lives, and climate change is so real. Before I came to California, this would have been 1990, 30 years ago, almost 35 years ago, skin cancer at sea level was 100 times more deadly than it was 30 years before. And if you were at a mile high like Denver, it was only 10 times more, it was 10 times more deadly at sea level. And at Colorado's Mile High, that was 100 times more deadly. So, how much damage?
Here's the challenge, David. All of that makes way too much sense. That's the problem, right? I don't know that they'll do anything. I don't know that there's any proof that there are consequences for their behavior. They just to keep accumulating more money. And there's no consequences. Look at your brother, Orange Menace now. He's done all kind of dirty deeds. And the court can't find a way to put him in jail.
Well, that's the interesting, in 1770, when I argue with the right wingers about this issue, I call them fake conservatives, because in 1776, a conservative would not want to be turned into a colony. That all of the money was being sucked over to London and that America wasn't getting reinvested in, that there was no local investment anymore. The king was even making it worse by having a party with all the taxes. And so, he didn't even reinvest in London, much less in the colonies. So the same thing is going on today, where the corporations are playing with money like it's a game, as opposed to it's supposed to reflect our reputation. If you're a hard worker, you get more numbers. But in real cases, like Donald Trump, they're stealing numbers, and everybody is left in the lurch. And I heard you all talking about Social Security a minute ago, or 2 segments ago, and they could make it fill up real fast. Social Security Trust Fund could fill up real fast if they just doubled the minimum wage to $15. It would fill up almost, not overnight, but quickly. And the minimum wage really needs to be, in excess of $25. But just by doubling it to 15, it's still stuck at 7.25. And they're playing with numbers as if somebody's got to live on the Social Security pittance of 7.25, as opposed to a living wage. If we're in a high inflationary period, the pittance that's being paid out in Social Security right now is causing starvation across America. So, these guys haven't got brains enough to save lives, much less their own lives. And, in terms of real damages, there are plenty of damages coming with the ocean's rise, with these massive storms. These guys used to have factories as collateral, but when you have Category 5 hurricanes come ripping through Florida, and they had 3 of them last year, or 5 of them. It used to be you'd have 1 Category 5 every 20 years. Now they're having 3 in a given state. So, these guys they can't admit for a second that they caused pollution, so much pollution that it's created dead zones in the oceans, which are making bigger storms, which are ripping apart the land. And they can't admit it. They can't stop polluting, and they are hoarders, of the numbers. But the numbers are supposed to reflect our ability to save ourselves.
Well, I'm patient enough to continue to wait for the consequences. But I swear, it seems like they just get better and better for them versus their consequences. Dave, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call again.
Sure.
You bet, man.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Y'all want to comment on that?
Well, here's one of the things that I wrote down, because a lot of people don't have the capacity to say I made a mistake.
Right.
And I think that the voters who vote for all this carnage and craziness, going back to consequences, by admitting that they made a mistake, I think a lot of people that they are capable of saying that it doesn't demean you to say that I made a mistake. It actually empowers you, because then you can go forward and grow. But a lot of people, irrespective of wealth and means, don't have that capacity. So you get into this whole conversation back again, Eric, about consequences. We've allowed ourselves to continue down this road repeatedly, not stopping and looking on the side going, oh, wow, we've torn some stuff up here.
Yeah. All of our, I would attribute a good deal of our social ills to consequences, to something that we've done. There should not be homeless people. And you probably could eliminate that by raising the minimum wage. But because you refuse to let the minimum wage keep up with inflation, right? So the consequences are you have homeless people who need resources that they take from the government now.
And a lot of people who become homeless are people who lose their means of earning an income. So let's go even past that and say, okay, we could fix homelessness, or certainly make a huge dent, massive dent in it, by saying, okay, if a person is of an above average wage and they lose their position, then our system should be so robust, to use one of your words, that we have the safety nets there for their medical coverage, that we have the safety nets there to make sure that they have the tools to get back into the mix without there being all these restrictions on a federal level and on a state level. But we'd rather spend money on, let's talk about this for a second. When people say we should stop doing things that are outside of our borders, we spend too much money helping but we spend a lot of money destroying other places.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
if we redirected those funds toward making sure that when people become insolvent with their own employment, that they're kept solid, then homelessness would greatly reduce by just reallocating resources. We have the money.
Yeah.
Just to piggyback off that a little bit. So when I first moved here in 2002, I volunteered at Catholic Charities.
Back in the what, 1800s?
You were something.
It was early 1900s.
Yes, we brought something at you.
It was early 1900s.
Y'all got to hear it, folks.
I know. And it got caught up on something else.
Yeah.
She still came through.
Feel like a girl, don't you?
I don't say that.
I am.
There's some guys that came through.
Can I finish my point, even though nobody can? I'm going to remember on purpose. Okay. So when I first moved here, I volunteered at Catholic Charities, who had Thursday, Friday night suppers at the time for homeless people. And just to what you were saying about us being able to provide for people so that they don't, have to be homeless. Those people, a lot of those people, I would say 70% of those people were one paycheck away from,
their world crashed.
Their whole world just. There were families there. There were,
a lot of middle income people.
There's a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think that homeless people are comprised of, people who can't eat, are comprised of really, really poor people, but it's people that are
Do you know the perception?
like me.
The perception of that, Michelle, is really, this is what a lot of people just don't want to admit. The perception of people who have become homeless is that they did something wrong and caused it to happen to themselves.
Yep. And that's not true.
Because you hear
sometimes that's the case.
Sometimes, but it's not overwhelming.
Most of the time, it's not.
Right.
Yeah, and if they did something wrong, what's the depth? To what depth of wrong was it, and how quickly did we help to recuperate and reinstate them to a way that they can move forward? And I'm a big believer in that, and that's not a Democratic or Republican or frankly an independent position.
Right.
It's
a human position.
It's a human position.
Yeah.
And to Eric's question, oftentimes about where do we set on the scale of humanity? What is the humane thing to do in our society right now? to Eric's original question about what our politicians and our media is doing or not doing to further the problem and not deal with the consequences. And one of them is they sure as hell aren't basing it in some form of humanity. They can't be. Because if they were, they'd stop and look and go, that's not the right thing to do for other human beings.
Yeah, y'all. Can you remember? You don't remember?
No, we gonna fight when the show is
I'm just
over.
I saw you had something to say, right? You had something to say?
It's gone now. It's left the building.
I should
window there.
I shouldn't be here.
All right, y'all. Yeah, the number is 7. It works. The number does. 773-763-9278. Yeah, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Yes, you should be here.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save & Plan, Polaris has introduced a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save & Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save & Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save & Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
I can't worry about that.
For you on the radio.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up, this is crucial information you don't want to miss. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris Wealth Management can be your professional partner in navigating this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information or shoot us an email at polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Come back.
Hi, this is Jeff Lee, Eric's boy from HU. Welcome back to the family meeting.
That's not what happened.
Need to mention this again.
We're back. If you can hear anything.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are we supposed to hear that?
Yeah, you guys are clear. You can talk.
Okay. 773-763-9278, 773-763-9278. I hear we're clear now. I don't know about on YouTube.
Yes, I can understand you guys perfectly.
Okay, there you go.
Wow, see, we got there.
Yay.
Don't touch anything. It's working.
This would be a classic moment to say something about Isaac Hayes, the third's success in court.
Yes.
Because we performed the lyrics of the song. We held on.
I told y'all to be patient, man. Everybody's chirping at me. I don't know. I'm working on it, man.
That's right.
The only way you can work it out is to do it live.
Just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah, I ain't afraid of that.
Doing it live. Remember that?
How long ago was that?
It was about 20 years ago. But you remember it too, though, right? All right, Judgy McJudgerson. Whatever.
You're the one that's doing it to yourself. I'm not doing it. Got elevator phobia.
Those kinds of elevators specifically.
Have you had a bad experience in an elevator like that?
They're haunted.
There's a direct link to kidney bone disease and that kind of behavior.
Especially when you endure it like you do.
I know. I'm surprised y'all kidney bones ain't hurting.
Nah, I was there for the rescue. I was there in the moment when I was in the room or the hallway when it happened. I'm not getting on that elevator. I was like,
I don't even know how you got around to that. How did you get around to the elevator? Did you come in the side door?
Okay, so let me start.
Where'd you come in?
We came in the main door. When you buzzed us in.
And you walked right by the first elevator.
No. We came up the first little stairs, and she was like about to go up the stairs all the way. And I was like,
I did the first time I came here.
I was like, no, we
got up the stairs.
Yes.
I said, no, we got to go this way. She said, no, I'm not getting on the elevator. And I said, why? She said, I have a phobia of elevators. And I was like, okay.
No, that's not what I said. I said those kinds of elevators are creepy.
Right. She said
the creepy ones.
And I said, there's nothing wrong with this elevator. And she's like, well, the last time I was here, and she explained it. And I was like, but this elevator is a regular one. She's like, no, I'm not going to do it. I said, I'll hold your hand. I said, no, I still don't trust that elevator. And I said, well, I'm not walking up 4 flights of stairs. And I'm getting on this elevator. You can ride with me if you want to. And then she peeked around the door. Like,
shut up.
She did, Eric.
I can understand either one of you today.
She peeked around the wall like,
So when you left here last time, did you go down the stairs?
Yes.
You didn't go to the elevator?
That's when I found out it was the creepy elevator.
So you went to the elevator at the end of the hall here?
Whatever it was, that's where I went, and I refused, so I walked back down the stairs. Because, yes, I've had a bad experience.
Ointment or something?
I don't know about ointment. I ain't going there. But maybe a pill or a drink or something. Or some weed. You know what? This is resolved with some gummies or weed.
Tiffany, help me.
Some gummies or weed. Yes.
Well, I didn't take a gummy today.
Well, see, like I said, there you go. There's a problem. Yeah. I didn't either, but, got a nap.
Okay, so what do we expect on Tuesday, guys?
Ooh, nice pivot, E.
Very nice.
I'll shut up and listen.
Go ahead, Michelle, you first.
I'm going to go in there with no expectation. I serve myself better when I do that.
Okay,
now, do I expect her to wipe the floor with him? I hope so. DT's so unpredictable. I don't know what'll happen. I don't know if he'll show up, to tell you the truth.
This is what I hope she does. I hope she does a lot of laundry listing of his bad behavior, which she will. That's prosecutorial 101.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that I hope that because this is going to happen. Mark my words, there's going to come a point where there's questions and there's answers, and she's going to drop the hammer on something. And he's going to say, such a nasty woman, such a nasty woman.
Oh, for sure.
That's going to happen.
Sure, yes.
So this is what I'm hoping and praying, and I've sent this out to the universe that she does, and that's this. I hope she says, Donald Trump, you're absolutely right. I am a nasty woman, particularly to those people who mistreat other folks, who tease the disabled, who cause havoc for children, who don't pay their bills, who are 34 times convicted. And she laundry lists the reasons that she's going to be nasty toward that personality and that behavior. I hope and pray she does that, because that will encapsulate a lot of things that he's done that haven't been necessarily punished. And it won't make her have to say, I'm not a nasty woman. She doesn't need to back away from being, any more than we need to back away from being perpetually angry black men for a reason. So if she does it that way, I think it'll do a lot of things. It'll prevent her from having to sound like she's apologizing. And it'll also be a very bold statement to other people to say, yeah, sometimes you got to be nasty. Sometimes you got to slap, not literally, you got to bring out a sledgehammer rather than a ball peen hammer.
I like that.
I hope she does it.
I hope she does too.
She's got 90 minutes to chew on this dude, and he's given her all kinds of material. I mean,
here's what would be interesting, right? If it just got too hot for him, that he would just leave. Wouldn't that be lovely?
And a great percentage of his voters will still vote for him because they'll say that he's too.
ABC was unfair.
Right, and he's too proud. He's better than her, so he just decided to not waste his time. That's how his some of his folks will play that. But check this out as it relates to this whole thing of him not being sentenced. I'm glad that he didn't get sentenced. I'm glad it got postponed. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because now there's no excuse. Because this is what the right would have done. They would have used that to say it's unfair, they cheated, it's rigged. They're going to do that anyhow. But this is an opportunity now to say, hey, and they would have fundraised off of it and all these other things. It's not an issue right now. I mean, it is, but it's not an issue that he's using as a tool. So now, great, it's not going to happen until the 26th of November.
Yeah,
And
you got
so,
a point there.
and I think that to the point about how the debate's going to go, I actually think that the debate's going to be less fireworks than people think it will be. And I think the reason it's going to be that way is she's not going to allow it to get there. She's going to keep it calm and sensible. And when she does, quote, go after him, she's going to do it in a very methodical way, because she knows, unfortunately, that, like she can say, you, Eric and Tiffany, you know as parents, you've had to say things to your children in a tone that they knew, actually by you lowering your voice, that you meant real business. You didn't shout and knock stuff over. Am I right? That you had to do it that way. And I think that my President Harris is going to play it that way because, unfortunately, she carries the burden of being the angry black woman. Yeah. And she knows that in this environment, she's got to come off as a real cool-headed, smarter than everybody person, and actually lowering her tone. For the people who are going to criticize no matter what, it's all she's doing it because she's trying to win.
Maybe she'll never get there, though.
But my point is, she's not going to. We know she's not going to get.
I hope she doesn't do that for them.
I don't think she's going to do it for them. I think she's going to do it to show that she can control the dialogue.
Listen, man, I think people are starved for
her
somebody to jump on this dude.
I agree with
you. In
you.
a meaningful way. And only a black woman can jump on you some kind of way where you feel. I think she's going to give him that. I think that what she'll do is she will dance around the edges like Ali, and she'll jab. And frustrate him to the point where he gets out of control.
Well, okay, that's what I hope happens.
But aren't we, everybody in this room, aren't we starved for somebody to jump on his ass?
Listen,
why would we hope she does that?
And
what would be the consequences if she jumps on his ass?
Nothing but success, period.
So let's hope she does that.
I hope she does that. Now, I'm saying what
I hope she doesn't pursue decorum.
But you know what you said. You know what you've always said to us about hope. I think she's going to do one thing. I hope she puts all of that. Every black mama on the planet. That's what I hope happens.
I just don't know. I'd be curious to know how they're coaching her.
Well, it depends on who's coaching her.
Well, if her sorors are any indication,
if Tiffany's coaching her, we know what's about to happen on Tuesday.
if her sorors are any indication where her head is on this, her intention is to say just the right thing to set him off.
Like ask a question like, so Donald, something like this.
Did your parole officer allow you to be here tonight?
Right, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys?
Because this goes back to what Eric has said for such a long time, and we all agree with this, that you have to step into the deep water. That's my phrasing of what Eric has said. You have to step into the deep water because that's where the real good stuff is. Why? Because ain't nobody else stepping in the deep water. And so her doing that is stepping into deep water, saying, yeah, I got a couple of life preservers, so come on out here. Let's see what you got.
But he's got so much material that she can use against him, so much stupidity that he's delivered, that's recorded, that everybody's aware of, that she can highlight.
Without a doubt.
Well, that and
he knows it's stupid, and for
he?
somebody to bring it up. I mean, he does. He would rather they didn't bring it up.
So do you think? So then, do you think?
Like
given
the
that,
poopy pants.
Right.
They don't want nobody to bring that up. So how about the pee-pee tape? There's a pee-pee tape.
There's a pee-pee tape.
Well, and so what about this though? I mean, to really have fun with this, but it's all legitimate. To ask questions about things that he's been accused of.
See, you guys,
and make him have to talk about that, because he's not going to talk. Listen, if he tries to talk about policy and what we did,
he can't.
If he does, okay, how about that? If we do a replay of the Biden Trump debate from June, If that's what, and it's going to be that from him, and then maybe some add-ons, but it's going to be that. It's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Here's the thing, I think. I don't know how you can debate somebody that only lies.
It's not going to be a debate.
All of the time about everything. And now, at this point, well, wait a minute. At this juncture where we are now, if you've watched, unfortunately, I've made the mistake of doing so, a couple of his last rallies, he's not making any sense. So how do you combat somebody that's nonsensical?
I would turn that question around to you. If you were there, what would you do?
I don't know that I would do it, because what's the point if we're not debating on anything?
Michelle, my kidney bone, remember, my kidney bone's delicate now.
I would ask.
I want to ask you, if you were there, what would you do?
I'd say, what?
I want to know why. I want to. Michelle,
you would tell him.
Does that make sense to you? Because it certainly doesn't make any sense to me.
Right? Does that right?
Right.
That's what I would do.
So Michelle, why are you afraid of the elevator? No, but that's how you play it. That's how you have to play it. You put it back and say, wait a minute, what did you just say? Right. What kind of nonsense
I
is
hope
that?
she says something about him getting out in public with his face painted orange every day.
Yeah, right. Because remember,
how long is that one strand of hair?
Have you seen the posting that he just put out yesterday? I think it was, saying that there won't be any assistances, whatever. I'm botching the English. Basically, that she can't stand on a platform, and that everything's got to be real, and there can't be any compromises to that. All this other garbage.
That.
Yeah. So
doesn't matter.
So to that end, to Eric's point about that one piece of hair, okay, fine. If I can't stand on the whatever, then you can't wear your diapers during the debate.
Or your shoe lips.
Or your shoe lips.
Or your shoulder pads.
Right. So there's a lot of things. I mean, I don't know if she'll go here, but I'm curious as to.
But in that vein, though, maybe not there specifically, but in that vein.
Right. Without a doubt.
Because he's giving you so much stupidity.
I want to ask the question when we get into this conversation about gun violence. I would want to ask this question, and I want her to ask this question. So, I mean, Donald, tell the world how your ear here healed so quickly.
Yeah, explain that to us, partner.
Explain that. Yeah, I mean, help us understand.
Tighten us up with that, man.
I mean, Mike Tyson bit Vander Holyfield, and that thing has still got a scar.
It still has a dent in it. Yeah, for sure.
The size of the bullet that struck you.
He didn't get struck by a bullet.
Apparently.
Let me try to get Big R in here before the break. Can you give us Big R, Dev? Hey, Big R, what's up, man?
Good evening, family. Oh, y'all talking. Y'all, what's the name of that cave y'all broadcasting from? Man, oh man.
Go easy, man. Worry about you, man.
Yeah, as far as me personally, I got to re-up my Wi-Fi this week. Still haven't bought me a new tablet, so you might have to put me on the VIP list for the pizza party. And of course, with that comes pizza. But of course, with the VIP list comes a pizza from Big Money Eric Grant. I'm gonna have sausage, pepperoni, and Canadian bacon on my deep dish. All right, so we got that out the way. As far as politicians, I'll remind you when I get there. But as far as politicians and them listening to constituents, they went out the window with Citizens United. Once they were able to get all this money from corporations and millionaires and billionaires, not just common folk, their constituents, that went out the window, man. Whoever's paying them. I mean, whoever pays Trump, he goes right along with them, whether it be dark money from Russia or whoever. He'll take money from anybody, then stick his finger in his mouth, stick it up in the air and see which way the wind's blowing. Some of these politicians have gotten so wishy-washy. When they do these polls from like A to Z, abortion, AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, economy, all of it, you get a sense between 60 and 80% of what the real American people, all of us, that means all of us, not just suburbanites, want. And do the politicians ever follow along with that and vote along those lines? No, they don't. They vote along the lines of the people that's giving them the millions of dollars every year. So
The money.
That's just the way that is, man.
Always the money.
It is. It's that the money has corrupted everything. Michelle, who was that you said that the money, he started getting some money and all of a sudden he becomes souls earlier in the first hour?
You went in and out. Can you say it again? I know. What was that?
Yeah, no. You said there was some politician or somebody who was a good guy, and then he got caught of money, and he just lost his soul.
We were talking about Nate.
Who?
Nate's a statistician, though. He's not a politician.
He's not a politician. That's
right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, money will corrupt you. I can't hear you. You're not coming in clear. You know, it's like I've heard a lot of good and provocative and wonderful things that you said, that Richie said, but I couldn't hear it clearer. You know, hey, back in the day when I was a professional mover, I was in elevators all the time. So the old-fashioned ones, they actually kind of fun to me, you know. So, but I understand I understand Michelle's trepidation. Don't get me wrong. I understand her trepidation with them old-fashioned ones because they don't even release until you close that gate. You can't do nothing with it until you close that gate and releases the safety.
And then you can get
but
thanks for that negative contribution. Thank you.
Yeah. It's fine. But I cannot wait for I cannot wait for this debate, man. I just can't wait. I just make sure Kamala's got her mace in the pocket in case Trump wants to stand over in a menacing way. And Mr. Dougie Emhoff, you make sure you standing by and standing down. If he stands over your woman in an aggressive manner, I want you to come out there, ball your fist up, and punch him in his nasty, disgusting, ugly face.
Okay.
That's all I got to say about that. She's going to use her intelligence to cut him to pieces. Go ahead to the break, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
See you on Pizza Day.
All right, man.
See you on Pizza Day. Pepperoni, sausage, and Canadian bacon, my brother. All right.
Bye.
You got people thinking I'm going to buy a pizza.
Bye-bye.
You've been telling every week that you're not buying any pizza.
But they don't listen.
But we've been saying we're going to give them some swag, though, which we have to do.
No, I didn't say that either. You
yes,
said that.
Yes, we said that.
Y'all getting swag from Michelle, not from me. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Hey, family meeting cousins. As you know, we've created a Patreon family meeting subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the family meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311 on the App Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311.
All right, we're about to come back.
Services.
Hi, this is Attorney Cannon Lambert. Go to my website, www.getthecannon.com. Welcome back to the family meeting.
A little different rhythm, huh? A little different rhythm today, huh?
Is that what you're calling it?
A little different rhythm today, huh?
Nothing wrong with that.
A little bit wrong. A little bit.
Step up, people.
Well, we appreciate our listeners because they're being patient with us today. So
no,
thank
they're
you.
not.
Yes,
I can't hear.
Well, they're supposed to tell us. How would we know if they didn't tell us?
Hear.
I don't mind the criticism.
I don't mind either, but I don't care either.
But you should care because
you said they're being patient. No, they're not.
They are.
Leaving. No, I'm staying. I'm leaving. You should stay. I'm not leaving.
Well, here's the funny thing about that.
Get out then. Don't leave then.
No.
Michelle, there's the people who were saying, I'm done. They said it 3 times.
We
love y'all.
How about you was leaving?
Wait, that's like you have a picnic and somebody says, all right, man, I'm gonna come out.
They sit back and say, all right.
Yeah, right. Picnic starts at 4 o'clock. They say, man, I gotta get out of there at 5 because I got someplace to be at 6. 5:59 comes. They're like, yo, man, I gotta get up out of here. You're like, well, you're supposed to leave 2 hours ago. What the hell? Right, 17.
You're like, come
Why
on,
are you
leave.
still here?
Get your plate and go. My old man would do that all the time, but then what he would do is when you knew it was time for him to leave, he'd say, all right, sports fans.
Yeah, that's the way.
He would bounce like that.
Uncle Irie would put it out there.
Yeah, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all riding this little maiden voyage with us as we try to work out the technical difficulties. But the reality is there's no way to work out the bugs unless we just do it.
That's it. You can't fix the problems you shut down the mode, I don't know that. They're going to survive. They know they are. It's like they spoiled. That's really it. And they're like, it's not like I'm amazing on you this phone. All this phone, I'm the greatest. I mean, it was successful on broadcast, so it was a lot. That was fast. Yeah, some people we had a couple of weeks where we had some technical problems, but that wasn't nice. I know, but it's delightful. Really, it's fine. Right. I'm scrappy with
It's a black and white movie, Eric. I get it.
It's not black and white.
I guess I'll make this. Hey guys, how you doing? So, a poem about the family meeting. There once was a show named The Family Meeting. There once was a show named The Family Meeting. Its host, Eric, found its fame was fleeting. Every week he would go on the air and in so many words tell people to grow a pair. He can't figure out how to work the damn raggedy-ass phone. The station sure should throw them a bone. Michelle, I don't know how long your hair is or if you can put it in a bun, but damn woman, run!
I have no hair, actually.
How about that?
That was pretty good, actually.
That's almost a limerick he put together
That
for
was
us.
pretty good.
Matt, you got skills, man. Congratulations on that,
It's
man.
not his first one. He's done
Did
it
y'all see
before.
that Tyreek Hill accosted by the
Yes. Right before the
he got
game.
beat up or arrested?
Wait, he got out of the car and they had him on the ground, face down, and handcuffed 4 officers.
Several times they put him on the ground.
And then one guy, and he wasn't resisting. I mean, if anybody's, here's what I want officers to do. I know this is kind of a divergence. I want officers to be put on the ground by another person and see how that actually feels. But see, here's where we got an issue. This is about consequences and lying to yourself, America. Scotty Scheffler, the golfer, same thing. He ran over a damn near officer. They didn't throw his behind to the ground. So there you go, America. There you go.
Or Justin Timberlake.
There are instances. There are instances like with Tariq where we try to point to white privilege, and those are obvious, right? It's the more subtle ones. I'll give you a really good one that's been at issue right now. It is the pontificating or the punditry around Kamala's message versus the Orange Menace, right? They spend a lot of time trying to distill what they think he meant and trying to take apart what she said.
So y'all
instead of just doing both.
I think it's intentional.
There's no question about it. The distilling of what he's saying is to sanitize it.
Try to make it make sense.
Right.
When it doesn't make any sense.
Right. And for her, it's to criticize. There is a stark difference, and it's race and gender based, period. The problem that I have is I could give a damn about what the other politicians are saying. It's the so-called American citizens who want to pretend that they're the smartest people in the room, and they don't know a damn thing. And they keep buying into the lie because that's the lie they want to believe in. Because at the end of the day, they're feckless. They've been exposed as not being the smartest, strongest, best people in the room. That's what they've been exposed to. That I mean, they're exposed for that, and they can't recognize that their privilege is what's allowed that to perpetuate itself for centuries.
Everything swirling around you that troubles you are consequences of that.
Bingo. It's that simple. And I've said this before here, that the biggest challenge for America, specifically white America, to circle back to where Eric started on, rural, suburban, and I said metropolitan, is that the country cannot acknowledge that its privilege-based communities have been privilege-based all their lives. And for someone who is white to say, I'm not privileged, in and of itself shows that you are privileged. Because you've disconnected.
You have the privilege of saying that.
Right.
And that doesn't mean, and you could be the most liberal, progressive Democrat on the planet, but for you to deny or to not acknowledge that you have the privilege of saying, I'm not privileged, tells us everything we need to know. And then we've got, each of us sitting in this room have friends that from a costume standpoint don't look like us.
Oh, yeah.
And for them to deny that all of the isms and the craziness and the drama that we're dealing with isn't found and housed in their denial of their privilege is the part that frustrates most of us the most.
Sure.
Because we know it's true, and for you to be quote unquote an ally and then to deny that it's true is more offensive than someone who is not an ally calling us the N-word.
Well, I mean, I think the bigger question is, for those who've identified it, what do they do about it?
And if they don't do anything, then identifying it doesn't really mean anything.
Well, there are some sincere people that all of us know who want to know, what can I do, right? And
Fair enough.
So in that group of people who want to know, there are some who just can't be inconvenienced. Yeah, I'd like to, but it's too much of an inconvenience.
That's a good point.
There are those who are willing to put in the work to get it done. What do you tell the people in that last category? What do you do?
Stay focused like you have today to put up with the show. I mean, seriously, if you genuinely are committed to it, I mean, let's put it in this vein. Let's say that you
I think the primary thing is to call it out when you see it.
Bingo. When you see somebody else in your cohort, if you are a person that's genuinely an ally on any of these topics, racism, sexism, nationalism, religious bias, all the rest, when you see someone step into the doo-doo, the first thing you should be willing to do is to call them out in the moment and not wait 2 weeks later.
Yeah, and damn your discomfort with it, or who it is. If it's your favorite uncle, then he got to get it.
He got to get it.
He got to get it.
Well, I also think we have to learn, too, how to present the discussion. right? Because if you go, because I think all of this is attached to ego, which is why people can't admit that there are consequences to what's happening now, right? Their ego will not allow them to say, I was wrong, we messed up, we need to do this, this, and this to make everything right again, and we need to work on it together. I think it's the ego will not allow them to do it.
There's no doubt. You're right about that.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the problem.
So back to politicians. I think the underlying problem with politicians in this silly season is that we are not, the career is not attracting the best and brightest among us. This cohort of politicians up and down the ballot, federal and local, are not the best and brightest among us.
Not the entirety.
No, there's a few shining stars in there, but they're ostracized by the lower end, the non-best and brightest.
Yeah, and that should be who they listen to.
Right, and it's gotten itself twisted around where they talk too much about what they stand for and not what their constituents stand for. And I want to hear some more of that. The presidency can use the term "the American people" because that's his or her constituency.
Right.
But if you're a senator or a congressman or an alderman or whatever, your constituency is local.
Right. Or they should be saying, my citizens from the state of Montana.
Right.
My constituents from the state of Montana.
And we don't care how you feel or what you think because you represent people. You need to care about what they think. And even if what they think is contrary to what you think, you need to vote for them.
Right.
What they want.
And one of the things that's happening is, and has been happening for a while, is too many times, and this is where the imbalance of power and senators and House of Representatives is way out of balance based on the population of the state. There's no way in hell that someone in Montana should have the same voice numerically as someone in a highly more popular state. And that could be a red state or a blue state, if you want to be fair and honest about it in terms of equitable conversation. That's just simple math, as Eric would say. That's just simple math.
There's more people in D.C. than there are in Montana.
So why
they don't have senators?
Right. That's just not. We're not a representative body. But then it gets into the thing about how do we break that cycle?
Right.
And it's to force the senators.
And then wrap all that with breaking the myth. Stop telling the fairy tale. The fairy tale of who the country is. And I was watching. I've stopped watching cowboy movies. Because every single one of them is a fairy tale. They characterize them as brave people and settling the West and all. No, they were murdering, killing, and taking. That's what they were doing.
With the backing of the government.
Right. Even Bass Reeves, who was the famous black marshal out in the West, he was a co-conspirator in that. Brave man, but a co-conspirator in that regard. So, you got people who have suffered under the fairy tale that you continue to tell yourself. And the consequences of that are the politicians that we get. See, I circle on it.
That comes.
The consequences are the politicians we have now. You tell all these fairy tales for all these times. So this time it's different. You're going to be able to elect a president this time who won't have the baggage of garbage to deal with.
Or a specific thing, a current crisis
yeah.
thing. Right.
Right. And
something to clean up.
Right. To the extent there are crises, you have to acknowledge that there are consequences of past behavior.
How did we get here?
Right, and then deal with it from that standpoint. Dealing with it at the border, at Mexican border, that's not the solution. The solution is to go down to Guatemala and fix what you broke down there, so that they don't have to flee.
But America doesn't have the capacity to say we made a mistake here. It's our fault.
There you go.
We didn't cause
this is the first time in however number of years since Carter that we have a chance to do that, and we need to make sure we advocate for that we push for Kamala to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
That's a great question.
And when you say push for, what does that look like to you?
That means, well, the only capital that we have are our votes. And she has to understand that you risk losing our votes.
Right, but we need to do something in between time. So what's the solution to keeping her foot to the fire after she wins?
So that's a good question, because how the system is set up with money, they have lobbyists who advocate for them. We don't have lobbyists. So the only thing that we can do is to make sure our voices are heard in the form of letters and emails, and in instances where she decides to, or our local officials decide to step out and have town halls, be heard.
Well, a couple of things that will help to change that conversation, I know we're wrapping up, is D.C. statehood and Puerto Rico statehood.
Yes.
Those are things right there that will change the dynamic. Doesn't mean we have to back off, but it changes the dynamic overnight.
Overnight, that's right. She should do that.
Yeah.
She should, I should take that back. She can't do anything, she can advocate for it.
Bingo.
Right? It's three parts of the government, so she can't do it by herself.
Right.
But she can advocate for it. So we have to see her advocating for it. That's what we have to insist on. We have to demand it.
Yeah, and we can, and we will. I believe we will. And I think she'll be open to it.
Well, I think so too. I look forward to Tuesday though.
I know.
Because she's going to bring Howard on that ass.
That's what we want to see. What may happen might be different, but that's what we want to see.
I'm telling you, I spoke to one of her sorors this week. Get ready.
Yeah.
She's going to do some cutting. All right, y'all. That's all the time we have. I want to thank you for yours and for your patience today. We are working through this, and the only way to do it is to do it live.
Do it live!
Welcome to the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I'm your host, Eric Frank.
Oh,
all right, we did it.
Your fans didn't get to really hear you today.
Oh, that's all right. They heard enough. They'll survive.
You're gonna have to load up the Benny Hill and throw it back on.
I know, right? Thank you. You're right.
Tiffany!
What's up?
How are you? I have to tell you this great little story. It's a small little story, but so I got to the golf tournament.
He doesn't have a small little story.
You good, Devin?
To the out.
Yeah, we're still here, Eric.
You know, I was a little bit behind her. I got started one hole back.
Yeah.
And so,
We're here. I'm here.
Okay.
Eric, what do I do?
Yeah, we were off rhythm today, weren't we?
Yeah, it was the first show with the new setup though, so it's like we should know it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Grab my stuff.
I should probably, whenever you guys get a moment, explain the playlist, because that didn't work like I expected today.
Don't worry.
We can talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, I had to go, there was some random stuff that I know wasn't yours also thrown in there, so I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, Matt needs to, I'm gonna send this to him so he can update this. So they just,
Here's your bag.
Okay.
She made it happen quickly.
Okay, guys, thanks for your help.
She's amazing.
She is.
No problem. See ya.
Okay, see ya.
Last week, the whole, the things that you stand on, what your
Conviction? No.
Yeah, but they have a name. What is your interest, your permanent interest? That's, children are my permanent interest.
I would say
So,
yeah.